Hello everybody, my name is Matthew Brewis, and I'm going to tell you a little story about what happened to my friend. So, it was a Wednesday night, she had a paper due. Like some of us, we work on it a little bit before the deadline. So she worked on it and she finished it, and then at that time, she thought she'd done everything she could. But Thursday, she was going to proofread it, do all this other stuff. So Thursday came around, she finished all of her tasks, she finished all of her errands, she went to college, she came back home. But something didn't feel right, something was definitely off. Turns out that her house was actually broken into, and that somebody stole her computer, somebody stole her other personal belongings. But more importantly, the most important thing that they stole was her Mac, which she did a project on. Now, after they figured all this stuff out, she went and bought a nice little cheap desktop from Best Buy. After doing that, she had no idea how to work it. She only used Apple products, meaning that the OS was completely different from a desktop OS. So that's an operating system. And if you don't know, that's what makes your computer look the way it does, how it functions, how it runs, what you're doing on it. It took her, no joke, 2 hours to find out how to open up Microsoft Word. And that was pretty surprising to me. And after she figures that out, she goes downstairs to eat with her family, comes back up, the screen's blank. It has nothing coming up on it. So she's trying to turn it on, figure out how this does. And in that time, a short circuit hit the computer, making the HDMI cable completely useless. So she had no idea. And Friday came, she had no paper to present, and the teacher said that he's sorry that happened, but there's no way he can accept it, because if he accepts her late, he'll have to accept everybody's. So why did I tell you guys this? Well, this computer problem was a very easy problem, and she had taken no computer classes prior to doing this. So if she had taken 1 or 2 computer classes, she would have easily figured out how to troubleshoot, how to figure out what problems there were, and how to easily solve them. For most TVs come with an HDMI cable you can easily connect to your computer, back into your monitor. So with that said, I believe that there's 3 important things that you guys need to know if you want to take more computer classes and should take more computer classes. So the first being, it applies to your workforce. It applies to your workforce because more and more companies are using computers. It's growing, it's not going anywhere. And Pew Research Center even says 85% of Americans believe that computers are important in a defined understanding, meaning that they want you to know more than just basics. They want you to know how it runs, how it operates, what to do when you have one. With this said, it's pretty hard to go through college with only that 1 computer class, especially when technology keeps on growing and advancing. So you need to take more computer classes if you want to stay relevant in the job market. Also, it's a good hobby and it's profitable. It's profitable because, for me, a big coin mining incident happened, which was when cryptocurrency became real big, real popular. Everybody was buying computer parts. They wanted this, and it jumped prices by at least 20%. One computer part in particular, called a GTX 1080, which is a video card used to actually show resolution on your computer, went up from $600 to $950 in the span of a month. And at this time, I sold all my computer parts and made over $6,000 in profit. With that said, Ryan from Student Importance says 71% of STEM jobs are computing. 8% of those jobs are actually computer science. With that in mind, that means there's a huge job market open to people who are going into computer science, meaning that six-figure job that most of us probably want is easily attainable just by having computer science as a major. And if you want it as a minor, you can make anywhere from $30 to $60 an hour according to NSA. Now, the last point I wanted to make is why it helps in the long run. I've given you guys plenty of reasons why it might help in the long run, but honestly, a lady named Fiona McAlee of DevX says 50% of jobs today require some degree of technological skills, and express that experts believe that 77% of jobs in 10 years will have all using technology. So that means companies want you to know more about technology. You're going to need to know more about technology. What's necessary today is that you take more computer classes so you don't have to take them in the future. Because I personally wouldn't want to come back to college after already completing it just because somebody has a little bit more experience with computers than I do. And just to conclude, I just wanted to express how important computer classes are and how important they are to the workforce, because your employers want to see you with that education. You don't want to be beat out by that one guy who had 1 more computer class, 2 more computer classes, and you figured out that you no longer have an edge in the computer market. Also, jobs involving computers, especially minors in just computer science, they're so profitable. You can make easy money. You're passing up money just by not taking computer classes and knowing what you're doing. And lastly, most people believe it's important to take a computer class. 85%. That means your family, your friends, your employer, your employees, your boss, your CEO, they all believe that you need to take computer classes.